Alright, so going to go over to defense, and what we're going to do is basically have defenses for essentially every different type of look that we're going to see. I think I pretty much covered like the basis of, every different look we're going to see, not particularly like what they're going to do in them, but just, how they're going to come out and how we're going to defend it and what our kind of defensive theory is behind it. I have this phone, like the phone, kind of in a weird contraption, so if it falls and the screen shakes, that's not my fault, although I have no one else to blame. But so right now, the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to have twins to one side, and your running back. Now the key to the play is going to be the running back and which way the running back decides to go. So right now we're going to take a look if he goes to the single receiver side. So we're going to have this corner lined up on the outside of the first wide receiver. I labeled him wide receiver 1. He could be their shittiest wide receiver. It doesn't fucking matter. So the first thing he's going to do is press to the inside for about 5 yards. Since he's on the outside, he's going to be able to see that the wide receiver is coming towards him. Press him for 5 yards. Pass him off. Make sure he releases to the inside, because essentially what we want to do here is always have the throws on the inside, make it easier for the safeties to come over, and ideally, if they could throw it short on the inside, we want the defensive line to get their hands up. A lot of what we're going to do is contain the quarterback and make him throw over either Leon or Sean or, any one of those 7-foot fucking guys. I don't know why we can't bat a goddamn ball down with those two on the D-line. But anyway, so we're going to press the first wide receiver and pass him off after 5 yards. The safety is going to come over, make sure he doesn't get deep. If he thinks that he has if the quarterback rather thinks that he has a free release right here, that should be an easy pick. But we don't want to let him get deep, and we certainly don't want to let him get to the sideline. After that 5 yards, this corner is going to pick up the running back, and he should be able to run with him, for however long he needs to run with him. I don't think he's going to get very deep on a wheel route. Hopefully we get pressure on the quarterback. Excuse me. On the other side, we're going to have the corner on the outside of the second wide receiver, and he's going to press to him. He's going to press him to the inside and then stay on his outside shoulder. So if you start trying to run a fly deep, he's going to press him to the inside and then stay on his outside shoulder and then force the throw to the middle of the field. Let's see what I want to do here. I have so many notes. And essentially, the corner on the third wide receiver is going to drop to a deep zone on the outside. Make sure that he's going to run with the third wide receiver. Make sure it doesn't get behind him. The safety is going to roll over. So essentially, the safety is going to roll over here. This corner is going to roll this way. This safety is rolling that way. So we're going to have over a cover 3. This guy will be playing short, and this guy will be playing this man, the running back out of the backfield, almost like a short zone. So it's going to be like a cover 3, but what we really want to do is cover the outsides, force the throw at least to the middle. If the throw gets through on the middle, there's help in the middle. We could have guys coming from this way, all angles, and that'll help, basically lessen all those one throws for touchdowns. So that's what we want to do. And hopefully, like I said, if they throw it short middle here, someone on the defensive line could bat the ball down. So we'll take a look now also. This is the same look. Now the key will be if the running back goes to the twin side. The corner on the first wide receiver will do the same thing, press. He'll be able to see him press, and then just stay to the outside, make sure gets an inside release, and then run with him. Since there's no one, since the running back's not coming this way, it should be easy for him to, just stay to the outside and no responsibility. If he's passed off and you see like the third wide receiver coming on like a drag, don't feel free. Like, definitely make sure he's passed off to the make sure your wide receiver one is passed off to the safety, and then come up to, I guess make the play on the third wide receiver. If you could, bat the ball down or pick it, that's even better. The corner on the second wide receiver here is going to press to the inside for 5 yards. So essentially they're doing the same thing on both plays. But once he sees that the running back is coming towards him, he's going to pass him off to this safety, and then pick up this running back. So the corner on the outside is going to press him hard to the inside. So he's going to start on the outside here, press him on the inside, make sure he gets a release on the inside, not to the outside because then our safety can't make that play, and then pick up the running back. And then again, the third corner on wide receiver 3 is going to essentially play this guy like a man, but taking away the deep throw. So again, this safety will come over. He's going to go back. The safety is going to have over here. And then, this corner is going to run with him, but he does have the short zone. And this guy has a short zone here. Again, that's cover 3 over here. And then zones to the outside. I can't say it enough. We want the throws to go to the middle of the field. Another look that we'll probably see is is 2 running backs with guys on the outside. Essentially, what I want first is our corners to line up on the outsides, and our, I guess you could call them linebackers or safeties or rovers, whatever you want to call them. Let's say line up about 5 yards, a couple of feet from the inside of the wide receivers. So this will be if the running backs go the opposite way. So running back 1 will go this way, running back 2 will go this way, and they could be fullbacks or whatever. And that doesn't have to be running back 1, running back 2. That's just how I labeled them for this. The outside corners will do the same thing. They'll press their guy to the inside here, pass him off to these rovers. The rovers will make sure they don't get beat deep, so they'll, play this guy, but make sure they take the outside shoulder. The corner will, the safety here will play the middle of the field, and hopefully, since our guys are playing the outside of this wide receiver, all the throws are going in the middle, allowing this guy to make all the plays on the middle, on the throws to the deep middle. Once these corners on the outside press for 5 yards, they release and pick up the running backs on both sides. And again, this is probably going to be the look that most of the time is going to happen. We have the rover here. We have the deep safety here, the rover there. This corner will pick up the running back, so the throws will be here. Again, this corner will pick up that running back, and the throws will be here. Again, looks like the same thing, cover 3, except, we're leaving the middle open because we want to bat the ball down. Let me get that even. The next thing will be the 2-back set if the running backs go to the same side. So for this instance, we'll say, they're going to the right side. Again, our outside corners are going to press, release them to the inside. So this guy will press here, allow the wide receiver to be picked up by this guy. Same thing, press here, allow them to be picked up by this guy. The only difference now is, these guys will do the same thing, take the outside away, take the deep outside away. This guy will, rover the center. Excuse me. Corner will then pick up the first guy out of the backfield So in this case, would be running back 2. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just the way that they come out. This guy could come out first, and he picks up the first guy. This guy comes out first. He's going to pick up this way. So by the time that this running back comes around, the 3 Mississippi should be up. So this D end here should buzz out this way. Now, if you see 2 running backs in the backfield, the D end should buzz. They should be buzzing out first anyway, and then coming in, because we want to contain. We have no one. There's no help in the middle of the field to prevent the run. So, you know, running up the middle, it's not going to work with Leon in the middle, or, you know, anyone with that type of wingspan. So what we want to do is force them back inside. Well, so if you see the running back, the D ends, if you see the running back coming to your side, both running backs to your side, you're going to buzz out, pick up the second running back out of the backfield, and cover him the whole way. It shouldn't be that long, because this guy, instead of doing nothing, he's going to be pressing them, seeing both guys go this way, should come down the line of scrimmage, and either after the 3 count or, you know, once the offense engages, come down, and you're the contain guy, because our D end should then come out and then slam hard right, and then you're the contain guy, and if the quarterback still has the ball, you know, hopefully you pick up a sack in that situation. So everything should be covered. Again, it doesn't look like a cover 3, but we have 3 over the top, preventing anything deep, and hopefully this corner coming down will force the quarterback to make a quick throw, and so that D end should not be covering that running back for too long. I drew this up. I don't think this formation's legal, but I drew it up anyway just to cover my bases. So I'm sure everyone's going to jump on me for this, but whatever. I'm going to cover it anyway. So we're going to say the running backs in this situation will go to the opposite side. So this way, this way. So that's the key to the plays when I say, you know, like where the running back goes. So the corner starting here, we'll just pick up the second running back. That's easy enough. This corner shaded outside, jams to the inside for 5 yards, and passes him off to the safety. The safety is going to play the outside and pick up the first running back. This corner will pick up running back 1, as I have it labeled here. The safety will most likely float to the middle, because doubtful that this guy is going to run a deep wheel on this guy. I mean, he's probably got about like 10 yards of a cushion before he gets beat. Hopefully he doesn't get beat at all. And again, just force him to the inside, stay on his outside, allow him to come this way, you stay on the inside, force the throw, you know, somewhere where this guy can make the play on it. And this guy will, you know, drop back. If he sees that, you know, everything is going to short, you know, come up and make the play. Otherwise, let's not get beat deep. So kind of again, 1, 2, 3, 3 over. And, you know, this guy will be playing short. This guy will be playing short. Force the throw to the middle of the field, like a cover 3, except with the guys to the outside. And, you know, this should be like everyone's covered. It's not like we're just standing in a zone, you know, not covering anyone. You know, everyone should like be at least close by someone, deterring the quarterback from throwing it or making a really fucking good throw. Again, the 2-back twin side. Again, I don't know if it's legal, but, you know, cover it anyway. So we're going to say that both running backs go to the empty side. This corner will pick up the first running back through. Again, D end will pick up the second running back through. The corner here will pick up this guy, almost man him up, take away the deep outside, but drop back somewhere here. This corner will jam for 5 yards. Since he sees both running backs going this way, he's going to jam for 5 yards, pass him to the safety. The safety should have the outside and come down the line of scrimmage and then blitz. So the D-line is going to go this way, and he's the contain. So it's either contain or hopefully pick up the sack. So this wide receiver should be picked up by this safety. This corner should just run with the second wide receiver, allowing him to, like, if anything, go to the middle of the field, and hopefully this safety could deter any throw this way. Doubtful that he'll need to make a recovery all the way this way, but just in case, he's not going to be all that far off. So, you know, I could say it a million times. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have 3 over at all times, or most times. Make sure this is in the center. Again, this 2-back twin set, we're going to see both running backs going to the 2 wide receiver side. Here. Here. Let's start on this side first. Wide receiver will jam for 5 yards, pass him off to this guy. Pretty much the same thing going on. Pick up the first wide receiver, pick up the first running back out of the backfield. This corner will stay with the second wide receiver. Again, don't allow him the outside, let him go to the inside. So you're going to drop back here. This guy will drop back here. So this corner will pick up the first running back. This D end will pick up the second running back out of the backfield. And this corner will be able to see that they're not coming anywhere and blitz. You know, if we could save the blitz and just have them run down the line of scrimmage and then go in, that's even better, or wait till they engage. Since nothing's going on this side of the field, let's have this safety come all the way over and, like, let's help out, squeeze the field. Or, you know, you don't have to come all the way over, but if there's short routes, definitely break on the ball. So D-line should be going this way. This end should be covering the second running back here. Everyone else should be slamming this way, slam this way. And this corner's to contain, just in case they want to fucking roll out or do some crazy shit. You know, definitely attack the quarterback here. I know Pat's probably been waiting for this. We're going to see 4 wide. We're going to go twins here. Let me flip to my notes. Make sure I get this right, because Pat will probably critique this 5 times over. Corners to the outside, on both outsides. Going to float back. That's going to be the first responsibility, is to float back. This corner has... this safety has, you know, middle of the field. Make sure you take away the outside. Don't take away the inside. Take away the outside. Let this wide receiver get an inside release, and then both, you know, corner and safety should have the play in the middle. Same thing on this side. Make sure you're on the outside. Allow him to get on the inside, and then corner safety should make the play on it. What I want to do on the inside receivers, let's jam them. For, like, you know, 5 yards, and then take away the outside. So jam for 5, and then kind of like float back into this area, jam for 5, and then float back to this area, or follow him. You know, I would say primarily take away the outside. If he's going across field, you know, then follow him, trail him. You know, because then if there are 3 wide receivers to the side, let's have, you know, 3 guys chasing, so it's easier to make the tackle. If we're within, like, say, like 10 yards, you know, say it's on, like, the 10, and it's like an end goal situation, like, let's have these inside corners, like, sink here, not so much the outside, like, sink here, because these corners aren't going to drop very deep. They'll probably drop, like, right here, so it's not technically going to be 4 across, but the longer throw will take longer to get there, allowing this guy to come up or go back. Whereas, like, let's take away the middle, because this will be like an easy dump off, and that's going to be way too easy for the quarterback to make that throw. If this guy runs it out, this corner should step up. And again, if this guy runs a slant, we're right there. So that's going to be like when we're tighter in, make it harder for the quarterback to, you know, thread the needle. So there you are, Pat. Enjoy that. Pretty much finally, this is going to be 4 wide trips, 3 to one side, 1 to the other. Make sure you can see that. Everyone see that? Anyway, let's flip to my notes. So this corner covering this wide receiver should stay to the outside. Press, you could press him, but make sure he doesn't release to the outside. Press him inside, and you could trail. This safety should be over the top help, or, if he's running a slant, jump it. That's awesome too, because that's probably 6 points for us. And essentially what we're going to do over here, let's talk about the bubble. Let me move this more so to the center because we always seem to have trouble with this. So the safety splitting, so let's call this guy the safety splitting the wide receivers, floats to the middle of the field here. This guy covering this first wide receiver is going to take away the outside and whoever's running the deepest route. So if this guy's running the deepest route and he's running like a fly or maybe even like a wheel or something like that, stay with this guy. Just make sure that the throw goes to the inside because we're going to have inside help from here. And then this inside corner should be running with the second deepest route or the outside route. So if this guy goes outside, let's run with him. But if it's something like fly, I don't know, let's go stop and drag, cover this guy and allow this guy to release, and let the quarterback make that throw in between our corner and safety. So let me bring it back to the middle where everyone can see it. I don't know if everyone can see it, but essentially we're going to have, yep, 1, 2, 3, and then, with this guy trailing, so maybe you want to call that a soft zone there, but it's more so man. If he's going to run like a drag here, like stay with him and run with him, unless you have someone coming across, then, let this guy go and then run with this guy, because then there's not going to be anyone on this side of the field, whereas like, if this guy runs a drag, then we have that guy covered over there, so he can make the tackle a little bit easier. So essentially 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, another cover 3 look, but we're going to leave the middle wide open, and again, hopefully the D-line either bats it down or, when the ball's thrown, the D-line's gotta turn and try to make that tackle. I mean, it seems like every time the ball is thrown, like, people assume other people are going to make the tackle. We have to assume that you have to assume you're going to make the tackle. So wherever that happens to be, if it's on this side of the field, don't run towards that guy. Take an angle on him. He's not just going to stay there for you to get there. He's going to try to get upfield, so you got to take an angle on him. So that's probably the messiest picture I've ever, not that I've drawn. I've definitely drawn messier. But anyway, that's pretty much like every single defense that we want to run versus every type of set that we're going to see. So let's work on that at practice. I wrote out all the notes for this. It's kind of chicken scratch since I did it mostly on the subway, but I'll attach it with the link to this video. And let's start a discussion. All right, see you guys.